In 2015, this image of a straw being removed from a sea turtle's bleeding nostril broke our collective hearts and sparked a rallying cry to ditch plastic straws. It's not just consumers. Major F&B companies, hotels, airlines, and even governments worldwide are joining the war against plastic straws. Here in Malaysia, we are looking at banning plastic straws by 2020. It's like suddenly plastic straws have become the Thanos of post-consumer waste. While breaking up with plastic straws is, for able-bodied people, the right move, we seem to be missing the forest for the trees here. Why are we swearing off plastic straws even as corporations and factories around the world continue to produce and sell both plastic packaging and products wrapped in plastic? For starters, we seem to have this perception that ditching plastic straws will make a big impact on the trash that's floating in the ocean. What many people don't realize is that, first of all, the often quoted factoid about Americans using 500 million plastic straws a day came from a 2011 survey by a 9-year-old. That's right. Agencies like CNN and National Geographic were citing data originating from this boy who, if he were Malaysian, would be in Standard 3. According to New York Times, little Milo Cress, who was on an anti-waste mission, said, "I came up with this statistic because I couldn't find anything else about it." And then there are the two Australian scientists who estimate that there are about 437 million to 8.3 billion plastic straws on the entire world's coastlines. Now, even if there were 8.3 billion straws on our shores, Bloomberg estimates that if they all washed out to sea, they would account for 0.03% of the 8 million metric tons of plastic waste estimated to enter the oceans in a given year. You want to know what's really floating around in the ocean? Abandoned commercial fishing equipment, for one. They make up 46% of the trash in our seas. So why are we all hating on plastic straws instead of fishing gear? For some consumers, banning plastic straws is the least we can do for the environment. For many others, it's down to ignorance and the belief that the act of banning plastic straws is more significant than it really is. Forgo plastic straws and suddenly we forget how often we flush our contacts down the drain, flick our cigarette butts on the floor, and throw away empty sachets of 3-in-1 coffee. We have done something. We are defenders of Mother Earth.
Captain Planet, he's our hero, gonna take pollution down to zero.
And corporations, they're on the anti-straw campaign because, well, it's a great PR spin. I mean, who doesn't love to support a business that makes a stand on environmental issues? Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look good in the eyes of your customers. This movement also means that the blame falls on the people, when really it's some corporations that are playing a major role in creating this mess. Campaigners from Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives, Gaia, say plastic pollution is the most visible manifestation of how corporations have externalized the costs of their profit-making activities. Because they don't give consumers a choice when it comes to the kind of packaging the goods come in. Like the guys from Gaia point out, most businesses package their goods for maximum profitability. Once they're sold and profits collected, corporations wash their hands off the problem. And time again, big business has pushed the responsibility for massive systemic problems to the little guy. In 1971, a US non-profit organization called Keep America Beautiful launched a PSA called The Crying Indian. It features a Native American man paddling down a polluted river. He pulls his boat ashore, and as he walks through a polluted landscape, a paper bag of rubbish is thrown out of a passing car, bursting at his feet. The PSA ends with this famous shot.
People start pollution. People can stop it.
People were moved. Remember, this was a period when America was experiencing an environmental movement, with activists holding major protests denouncing the industry for environmental concerns. What the crying Indian did was deflect the blame away from big business and make viewers feel personally responsible for the environment. But Keep America Beautiful wasn't an ordinary disinterested NGO. It was founded by beverage and packaging corporations, which were later joined by Coca-Cola and disposable cups maker Dixie Cup. Now fast forward to 2018. Our love affair with plastics is becoming a major issue. Fishing industries are abandoning fishing gear in the ocean. Microfibers shed from polyester, acrylic and nylon clothes are making their way into the sea and the fish we eat. Illegal factories in Malaysia are burning and dumping thousands of tons of plastic waste imported from countries like New Zealand. And what are we doing about it? Making consumers feel bad and banning plastic straws, that's what. No, governments need to act so that businesses are held accountable. Yes, as consumers, we must play our part in saving the environment. But we will not be made the only fall guys for today's plastics disaster. Just saying.